Good morning, day 523. Since 59 hostages have been brutally, barbarically, violently, and inhumanely were kidnapped to the hell called Gaza by the inhumane, barbaric, rapist, modern-day Nazis, monsters of Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, UNRWA, the UN, Red Cross, and just ordinary, regular civilians, innocent Palestinians. We are here every morning, never giving up until Hamas will surrender and let all of our hostages go. All 59 immediately, in one phase, in one bus. No more little by little. We do not want 10 now and 10 later. We demand all 59 hostages to be released at once. There's negotiations happening in Doha, Qatar, where they're trying to implement the Witkoff idea that 10 living hostages will be released as soon as the agreement will be signed for extending a ceasefire, and then at the end of that ceasefire period they will release the rest of them. No fucking way. Let them all go or unleash hell. All hostages out or hell. That should be the ultimatum, and the deadline should be today. We are done with this. Hamas continuously abuse, torture us and the Palestinians themselves. They do not want to live in peace. They do not want Jews to live, period. And they will use whatever means necessary. That's what they say, right? That's what they send the students in the universities in the US to say. Resistance is justified, whatever means necessary, and all that fucking bullshit. What it actually means is that they will send a 4-year-old to Israel post in the security zone to try to see what happened. Late last night, a 4-year-old arrived to the area where the IDF soldiers were stationed. Of course, the IDF soldiers treated him with kindness, gave him water and some snacks, and had a conversation with him. And the kid admitted that it was Hamas terrorists that sent him there. Israel, according with the international community, were able to send the kid back to the central of Gaza. Hopefully he will find his parents, his family. But this is another showcase of how Hamas has no respect for life. They would use a 4-year-old as a bait to see what IDF will do. They were probably hoping that IDF will shoot the kid. That's what they were hoping. That's what they've been doing. There've been stories, there've been videos, footage of parents sending their children trying to cause IDF to be confused, to be unsure what is gonna happen. Test them out, test the boundaries, see if IDF will kill children, which they do not. The IDF never targets children. The IDF targets terrorists who have been massacred Jews. We're gathering intelligence information and we're going directly at them. We're not just coming in and shooting indiscriminately, same as the Islamic jihadists have been doing on October 7 in Israel, and right now in Syria, and right now in Sudan and in Congo. The Islamic jihadists have very clear mission and ideology that they've been doing so since they established Islam back in the Arabian Peninsula. As they've been taking over and over the Middle East and continuing going now also to Europe, the Islam conquest of the West is happening right now, and is happening right now in the universities of the United States. If you're so fucking blind to see it, they are using your laws, the laws of America, to take over. And then on the way, as they've been seen, no backlash, no pushback. They have been allowed to do whatever they want since October 7th. They are taking it over the edge. American Jews, Democrat Jews, I want to, if it wasn't clear until now where the Democrats are standing, I want this day and I want this situation to be a huge red flag for you, and a huge reminder that the Democrats are not on their side, are not on your side. They would rather stand with a domestic terrorist who inciting violence against Jewish people, inciting harassment, discrimination, and threats against Jewish students, and promoting Hamas on US campuses, on Columbia campus, providing materials of Hamas to promote Hamas, and to maybe encourage and recruit terrorists here on American soil. American senators will side with this domestic terrorist who is a foreigner. He's not even a citizen. Rather standing with the Jewish student or American citizen through all of this time, 17 months since October 7, since the worst massacre on Jewish people since the Holocaust, on the only Jewish state in the Middle East, Israel, when these monsters were brutally massacring. Here, the students already went out to protest in support of Hamas already on October 7th. I was out on October 8th. They were already there showing us their swastikas and their support and love for Hamas, for these terrorists, praising rape as resistance, praising murdering children, burning families alive. And the Democrats are siding with these people who are protecting the Hamas, who are promoting Hamas on US campuses and brainwashing and making propaganda and blood labels against Jews and the state of Israel. Remember this day. Instead of calling to free our hostages, instead of calling to free Idan Alexander, an American citizen who has dual citizenship, his only crime was to go and defend Israel in the Israeli Defense Force, IDF. He's a Jew. His ancestral homeland is Israel, and he made the decision to volunteer on his own to go. His whole family is here, but he went by himself to go and defend the only Jewish homeland for its survival, because without the IDF, Israel would not exist. And he protected and defended Israel. And on October 7th, he was taken into captivity by the monsters, and he's still held captive for 523 days. Where is the outcry for Idan Alexander? Where is the signs of and the tweets of free Idan Alexander by the Democrats? None. They don't give a fuck about the Jewish community in the United States. They are siding with terrorists. The Democrats themselves should be questioned by the FBI and the National Security Services. You cannot support terrorist organization in the United States. It is illegal. It's not free speech to say that you love death. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but once you elicit violence, once you threaten and you segregating, harassing Jewish students, take over building, destroy property, the list goes on and on. But we know what is good and what is evil. And we know standing for Hamas, it's fucking evil. And the Trump administration will not tolerate this. The press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, went yesterday for her press briefing and emphasized even more what this Mahmoud Khalil what laws he was violating. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson also emphasized what we would not tolerate. You cannot come to this country and abuse its laws and privileges. You don't get a right to become a permanent resident. I know from first hand. And abuse its laws and abuse the freedom of speech. You're thinking under freedom of speech you can harass and promote harass Jewish students and promote terrorism. That's not gonna go. And more terrorist sympathizers, terrorist supporters will be caught and deported. That's what should happen. You should respect the laws in the United States if you want to come here. Unless, of course, in their case, they're not coming here to fight against war or to fight against the Israel government, which none of the signs that they're holding in those protests are against the Israeli government. But if you would have come here for anything of that sort, it's very clear. These coming here to take over America, to brainwash your children against the Western civilization. They hate America. In all of these protests, they've been burning American flags. They're not coming here to protest against Israel or the state of Israel, or how Israel is conducting this war, which has been the most humane war on the Israel side in human history. There's never been a ratio between the combatant and civilians as much as Israel have done in the most populated urban area. There will be decades of generals who will study what IDF have done in Gaza in the last 17 months. How many terrorists they were able to eliminate, while eliminate the least amount of civilians ever possible. Yet, the media is also complicit, and what is happening in the universities will tell you the narrative that Hamas wants you to hear. They're literally the spokespersons of Hamas, and this will now finally come to an end, and the accountability is gonna happen. Thank you, President Trump. Keep going. We support you. We want America first. And Israel will continue to defend itself with whatever means necessary. We will continue to block the aid, to put more pressure on Hamas. They're not starving. They'll be fine. If the Gazans eventually will start to be a little hungry, Hamas can offload all the stockpiles that they have in the warehouse of the humanitarian aid. Go to Hamas if you're hungry. Don't come to Israel without hostages. As long as you're holding hostages, we will not tolerate this. We will put pressure on you, and hopefully soon Israel will set up some sort of a deadline. They are preparing a resume of the war. So let our people go. Israel, the land of Israel, our ancestral homeland will be ours for eternity. The Jewish nation are not going anywhere. We will live from the Jordan River throughout Judea and Samaria to the We will live from the Jordan River through Judea and Samaria to the Mediterranean Sea for eternity. Am Israel will always be. Am Israel Chai forever.